In today's video, we're going to find out what the difference is between shooting with a 25mm f1.7 prime lens for the Panasonic GH5 versus their kit lens, which is the 14 to 42 f3.5 to 5.6. We're going to leave it set at 25mm so we can compare the difference and whether there's an actual appreciable difference in that background blur. Let's get into it. Welcome to the channel, folks. My name's Shane. In today's video, we're comparing this, the 25mm f1.7, and in a moment, I'm going to switch over to the kit lens, the 14 to 42 f3.5 to 5.6, probably my favorite vlogging lens. We're going to run it at 25mm to see if there's a difference in that background blur and whether or not they both perform well in autofocus mode. So just to let you know, I'm using my Panasonic GH5, and this might be the last of the reviews coming up on my channel in terms of these lenses, because I kind of feel like maybe Panasonic are making the micro four thirds system obsolete since the S5 is a full frame camera. So let me know your thoughts on that as well. I hope not, but I have a feeling we won't be seeing too many more lenses and micro four thirds cameras coming out of Panasonic unless they're aimed at vloggers. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to compare these and see what kind of results we can get. And if you're thinking about buying one or the other, links will be below. Or if you're thinking about getting them on the used market, odds are you'll find them for a really good deal. Let's switch lenses. And now we're over to the legendary 14 to 42 kit lens, f3.5 to 5.6 at 25mm. So I'm standing in pretty much exactly the same spot, exactly the same focal length. Let me know if you think there's a huge difference in the background blur. Now I'm shooting in 4K, 24p, cinema 4K this time, something different. I don't normally do this, but I figured why not. And I'm also leaving the camera to do everything in automatic mode just to set the exposure right, as I can't quite see the LCD screen as well as I would like. So we're going to see whether or not there's a huge difference between them. We're going to try them in a few different scenarios at 25mm and see how they go. But the first thing I want to do coming up is a little bit of an autofocus test. I usually use one area mode and the box is right about here on my chest. We're going to see how it performs. I'm going to take some steps back and we'll try them both. Here we go. All right, so first up, the autofocus test on the kit lens. This is the 14 to 42. I'm hoping the box is over my chest. Yep, it looks like we are all good. So we're going to see whether or not we can get good autofocus performance. I'm going to just pop my face right up to the camera. So hopefully that doesn't scare off anyone watching. But yeah, I've got the box right here. This is my most preferred method for getting reliable autofocus. Now, as long as the box was in the right spot, we should be good to go. I'm just going to make a fist in front of the camera. And it looks like it's focused on that fine. There's a bit of background blur back there. At 25mm, it's probably pretty expected. And now we're doing an autofocus test on the 25mm f1.7 lens. Pretty much the same type of thing, walking up to the camera with the box hopefully over my chest there as well. It's a bit hard to tell from back there, but I'm pretty sure I got it right. Then I'm going to move my face up to the camera and see what the autofocus is like. Looks like we are all good. The box is right about here. I'm going to make a fist, the same thing again. This is why I like both of these lenses. You don't get as much pulsing, and once it locks on with this one area mode, it pretty much stays put. I don't have any custom settings on the camera right now. This is just all the stock autofocus settings. I think they work pretty well. One of the clear advantages of the 14 to 42 kit lens is the fact you can get that 25mm field of view, but you can also get anywhere between 14 and 42. So with the camera in the same spot, you can zoom in a lot further. And if you do that, you'll actually get more background blur, which I'll show you now. What you're looking at right now is the kit lens at 42mm. As you can see, the background is completely blown out compared to where it was before, at least anyway. So you can get this effect, but I'm standing at least twice as far back as I was before as a flock of birds fly over my head. Up next, we're checking out the stability using the IBIS lock function in handheld mode, and this is the 25mm f1.7. And this is the 14 to 42 at 25mm with IBIS lock on. Up next, we're going to do a little bit of a vlogging test. Now, this is the 14 to 42 at 14mm. I have dual IBIS enabled, not the IBIS lock, but just dual image stabilization. So we're getting the in-body and also lens stabilization working together. And 14mm is about as close as you want to get. I'll switch over to the 25 and you can see just how close it is. And now over to the 25mm f1.7. I've got my arm stretched out as far as it will go. and my head's taking up the entire frame. Now there's one other lens that you could go for, which I've got in my bag, so I'm going to switch over. And now over to the mystery lens. Does it look better? I'm assuming it probably will. This should look the best out of all of them, as it's the 15mm Leica f1.7. This is one of my favorite lenses for video. I've got my arm stretched out to the exact same spot. There's much more of me in the frame. So if you're looking for a prime lens to do vlogging with, I would say go for the 15mm f1.7 over the 25. Otherwise you're going to need a selfie stick or a tripod to get the lens far enough away so you're actually in frame. So this is a really great choice. Now, one of the clear advantages again of the kit lens is the fact that it will look nice and sharp, and it will handle bright sunny days no problems at all. To really get the benefit of the 25mm f1.7, you need to have more control conditions in terms of lighting if you want to use it wide open at 1.7, because if you take this out on a bright sunny day, odds are you won't be using it at f1.7 in automatic mode. Of course, you can set your camera up manually, but you may need some ND filters to get the most out of it. For those shooting in a home studio environment, I much prefer the look of the prime lens over that of the kit lens, and you'll get far less noise in the shadows with a prime lens, as you're basically allowing more light to hit the sensor over one of the kit lenses. One of the cool things about this 14-42 is the fact it doesn't really change that much when you go from one end to the other in terms of its zoom range. So yeah, it's nice and small, and if you get rid of this, it really drastically changes the size of the lens altogether. Here's the 25mm lens up close. Now if we take the lens hood off, you can see they're roughly the same size. This one only has a focus ring because there's no zoom. So the size of this is very small. One of the things I see come up in conversation a lot regarding the 25mm f1.7 is that it feels a little bit cheap and nasty and extremely light. I actually like lightweight lenses, especially if you're traveling overseas. You don't really want to carry anything too heavy. So in my opinion, this is what the Micro Four Thirds system is all about. Light, small lenses that give you really great video quality. Now let's talk quickly about sharpness, contrast and color, and background blur. Now I'm just taking a look at my project here in editing with an A/B screen between them both. In terms of colors and sharpness, they both look as good as each other. I can't tell a difference between the colors on my shirts in either of these two shots, nor can I see a difference in my skin tones, which is why I love just buying one brand of lens. They're generally all the same when it comes to color and contrast. Sharpness can vary a lot, obviously, but just in terms of what I'm seeing with both of these lenses, they match extremely well. The biggest difference is that background blur. So if you do want that look, go for an f1.7 or lower, 1.4 if you can afford it. Those lenses will give you the best results. Sure, you can get a speed booster and do all that kind of stuff, but I don't want to mess around with that. I just want to be able to take a lens, clip it in and be good to go, and know that your autofocus should be working okay. I mean, Panasonic's not renowned for their great autofocus, but it works well enough that I can get away with it for what I do. Thanks for watching, folks. This is Shane. So I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's subscribed to the channel already. I really appreciate it. If you want to find out about any of these lenses, links will be in the description below. They help support the channel at no extra cost to you. Now, I may revisit a few of these lenses and make a follow-up review. If you want to see that, please let us know. But I think the Micro Four Thirds system, although it feels like it's on the way out, I love it. I'm not going to upgrade until I really need to, which means until two of my GH5s stop working or my G85s. I actually may sell my G85s and move over to a Sony a7S III down the track, but I don't plan on getting rid of these GH5s. They're just compact, they're portable, unlimited recording, 10-bit, all the good stuff, and cinema 4K, which I don't really shoot in a whole lot, but I loved what I saw from these images on my screen. Mine is a couple of times the autofocus failed. But anyway, it's hard to see outside anyway, especially when you're at a distance. But thanks again for watching. Let us know what you think of these lenses if you own them, or if you're thinking of getting them. Like I said, links will be below. Thanks again. Catch you soon. See ya.